Hello and welcome to our third session in our Coaching for Life course, Smashing the Myths. This is going to be fun. In this video we'll explore some of the myths we are conditioned to believe that impact the way we live. We are conditioned to believe certain things and we often accept them without questioning. Our think spot. Do you often wonder if you're being told the truth? Have you ever experienced other people taking advantage of you for their own ends? In your own experience, have you found that people misunderstand you sometimes? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, it's time to smash a few myths. So let's do it. We all have misconceptions about people, often the way they look, the way they come across in a conversation. We can easily make assumptions that aren't true. Our view of other people is coloured by misconceptions that come to us via the media, our upbringing, peer pressure, or social and cultural norms. Here's the Bishop of Lewes, the Right Reverend Richard Jackson. He rides a Harley Davidson. Richard is one of my friends in the UK, and he turns up to church in his official capacity as a bishop on his Harley Davidson. He smashes a load of myths when he does that because we have misconceptions about vicars or ministers or church leaders or bishops. We think they're going to be a certain way. They think they're going to have a wet fish handshake. You know what I mean by that, don't you? Not a firm handshake, the opposite. We think that they'll always be wearing sandals and a blue anorak with orange quilted lining. And if you're not quite sure what I'm referring to, it's fairly English, the anorak thing, but many of you will get it. We have misconceptions about people. Here's another misconception. Work hard equals reward and success equals happiness. Really? Is that really true? The Grant study carried out by Harvard University followed a group of men for their entire lives and found that, quote, the capacity to love and be loved was the single strength most clearly associated with subjective well-being at age 80. Well, we all knew that, didn't we? But somehow we don't get it. The capacity to love and be loved. That's where it's really at, isn't it? And learning that through this course will be a most fulfilling experience. In The Happiness Advantage, Sean Achor, who spent over a decade living, researching and lecturing at Harvard University, draws on his own research over 10 years. He says this: our most commonly held formula for success is broken. Conventional wisdom holds that if we work hard, we will be more successful. And if we are more successful, then we'll be happy. And if we can just find that great job, win that next promotion, lose a few pounds, happiness will follow. But recent discoveries in the field of positive psychology have shown that this formula is actually backward. Happiness fuels success, not the other way round. Got that? Happiness fuels success. When we are positive, our brains become more engaged, creative, motivated, energetic, resilient, and productive at work. Here's another misconception. Young men are only interested in one thing. Really? Well, honorary lecturer, his name John Barry, Clinical, Educational and Health Psychology Faculty of Brain Sciences in the University College London, a PhD, and Martin Daubney, former editor of Loaded magazine, who now regrets what he promoted in that magazine, have published the Harris Masculinity Report, in which they found, in the survey of 2,000 men born or resident in the British Isles, shows that men in 2017 value moral characteristics, e.g. being honest, over physical characteristics. e.g. being athletic. Surprise, surprise. We found that having a steady relationship is related to mental positivity. The implications of these findings are that there is clinical importance to men having enduring relationships. Relationship stability is an important anchor for many men. Well, that smashes a huge misconception, doesn't it? Men who value a spiritual aspect to their life, being authentic and true to themselves, without doing what others want them to do all the time, have a more positive mindset, they said in their report. Although it is known that Christian men in the UK don't do much church going, the free text evidence from the present survey suggests that spirituality, e.g. perhaps meditation or mindfulness, should be considered as part of a range of options in therapy. The same goes for finding one's true self, voice, path in life. Well, and we all thought, maybe not all, no, I'm exaggerating, many of us thought that young men only want one thing, and we all know what that is, don't we? But apparently, from all the research that's been done recently, that's not the case. It's a misconception. What about the heroes thing? We often have a fantasy view of our heroes that never meet our expectations. You know, they always get to the top of the mountain. They have a battle, but they always get there. They always win. It's not the way life is. Sometimes we don't get to the top of the mountain. Sometimes we have to live with failure, and sometimes that very failure teaches us valuable life lessons that will help us to continue in a much more positive and dynamic way. We want to see our heroes standing on top of the mountain, don't we? We don't want to know about the struggle. We don't want to face up to the danger. We don't want to hear about the setbacks. We don't do pain, disappointment, heartbreak and uncertainty. When they come, we're not equipped. So the hero thing is fun, but it's not real life, is it? No matter how many points you score during life, going to a fancy school, landing a six-figure salary, marrying a hot chick, we all end up at the same place, dead. The richest man dies just as the poorest woman does, so think about what you want to spend your lifetime doing. I don't agree with that statement. That's why I've got a big cross right there. It's a misconception. This anonymous quote gets the big thumbs down from me because life can have meaning, can have fulfillment. And if we go through our lives thinking when you're dead, what kind of motivation is that for getting on with life and making the most of life? So what's it all about? Well, for me, and hopefully for you as you go through this course, life is far more positive than that. It's about wonderful experiences. It's about stories to tell your children and grandchildren or your family and friends. It's about memories to cherish. It's about following your dreams. It's about meaningful relationships. It's about being true to yourself, making a difference in a world of need, finding fulfillment, journeying well, and a spiritual dimension that I think most or many people do believe in these days. Body, mind, and spirit. Developing holistic lives together leads us on a journey to fulfillment. So here's an exercise. Give yourself some time and space, and think about what makes you happy. I hope you've got a notebook there, making some notes and headings about the things that we're going through on these videos. Secondly, what would you like to change about your life that would make you more fulfilled? 3. Go back through the 10 aspirations in this video and give yourself a score 1 to 10 in terms of where you stand in your own experience of life. Okay? In the next video, we will explore principles that will set you free. I'll see you in the next video.